Alright, so this is the next project car. So I'm guessing it's actually an 03. I was told that all it needs is a battery and an alternator. I am hoping 100% that that's really all it needs. Actually, not even moving this thing or anything. I know it needs an exhaust. The catalytic converters are cut off of it and scrapped. Those are pretty much the only things worth anything in these things other than the motors. And another battery to add to the collection. So it drives, even with a flat tire. Check engine light's on, we have to check out what that's for, and then we're just gonna make a list of everything that it needs and everything that we have to do, and get going on it. Gave me an alternator. I don't know if it's any good, but I have a brand new one on the shelf. Oh yeah, this I pulled out when I first looked at it. That was in this area, plugging up a rust hole. This thing is kind of rusty. You know, it's got this, and on the other side it's a little bit worse, but it's a winter beater. Wow, the hair just gets better and better every day. And scruffy. Anyway, so I had some time to think about the flip car Forester, and I have officially decided that I don't think it's going to be worth fixing. I am going to throw it up on Marketplace as a winter beater, just to see if there is any interest in it before I do anything. And on full disclosure, I'm going to disclose everything that there is with the that's wrong with the car to the person, potential buyer. But I really don't think I'm going to get anything for it the way it is. I came in this morning and I noticed there was a spot on the ground, and there is a fuel leak coming from where the fuel lines come out of the tank and go into the body right here. Those fuel lines are like really, really rusty, and they're obviously leaking. So that combined with the fact that the rear brakes are pretty much locked up. I mean, this wheel, can't move it. So, you know, at minimum, I'm going to be taking that thing apart and doing shoes and a new rotor, and you know, maybe in hardware, but you know, I don't know if the wheel bearing's bad. I haven't even really driven this thing to see if there's any other issues with it. I don't know if the clutch is any good. There's a lot of ifs and maybes. I'm just going to probably come up with a list of what I think I could sell some parts off of it for. I know that motor is good. It's obviously had its head gaskets done and a whole bunch of other stuff done to it. That transmission looks like it's in good shape. I'm not sure about the clutch, but I'm probably going to go take it for a test spin, test everything out, and then I'm probably going to end up just parting it out and then seeing how that goes. So that project has turned into basically a part out because it's just not in good enough condition to sell. So I even forgot to add in, before I could sell this with a good conscience, I would have to put tires on it. That's another $400, and then it needs an oil pan, which is another $70. So, I mean, I'm pretty much right at $2,000, you know, into the thing. You know, a little bit over $2,000 just to get it to sell. And I really don't think that somebody I mean, I'm sure there's somebody that would, but $2,000 for a rusty Forester with 190,000 miles on it is just crazy talk. We're going to be ripping the motor out of this thing. It's going to be probably priority number one is getting all the parts off of this and getting this sent off to the scrapyard. Just with selling the motor, I'll be up $100 on this whole deal, so I'll be in the green. But my general rule of thumb is to double my investment every time and also to pay for my labor. There it goes. There is that. There you go. There's a whole motor. I got the Forester on the trailer. I was going to, I just decided that it's just not worth pulling any more stuff out of here. I mean, there's still an ECU, still a gauge cluster, still, you know, lots of little odds and ends interior pieces, and, you know, the 5-speed itself, the drive shaft, the hubs, you know, there's a lot of good usable parts on this thing, but one, it's so rusty that I didn't really want to deal with any of the stuff underneath, and I just don't want to deal with it, period. You know, I can get another one of these for no money. I'm constantly coming across them, you know. This is probably, you know, the 70th or 80th parts Subaru that I've ever bought. Yeah, I could pull the headlights out and try to sell those, and tail lights, and deal with all the shipping stuff and all that stuff, but I just really don't have time right now. I just don't. I have a bunch of cars that just need to get inside and out of the snow before the snow comes down. I think I just made a deal for selling the Forester that's on the trailer right now, so I'm gonna just run down there and see what they're gonna give me. Either that, or I can drive it 40 miles to Hartford and, you know, get paid there. I'd rather not waste, you know, 2 hours round trip, you know, probably more than that with unloading and everything and waiting in line. So I'd rather just run down to this local guy and give him a shot at it. You know, less mileage on the truck that I have to pay for, less gas that I have to pay for, everything like that. So I'm just gonna go lock the door and grab my keys, and then we're gonna head out. Alright, so just dropped off the Forester. Got 220 bucks for it. Honestly, I probably could have sold the transmission for 100 bucks and gone and pilled around with some headlights and tail lights for like 40 and 50 bucks, blah blah blah, and dealt with the shipping, and honestly probably would have made much more than that. I mean, yeah, I could have gutted the ECU out of it, and, you know, spent a bunch of time listing stuff on eBay and Craigslist and Facebook Marketplace and OfferUp, and then, you know, dealt with responding to messages and going to the post office, and all that stuff takes time, you know. You know, sometimes you can part something out and make a decent amount of money on it for the amount of time spent, because it's easy, you know, there's a huge market for it. But other times you spend more time and effort trying to sell the thing than you make on it, and you just don't understand how much your time is worth, and it, you know, it comes back and bites you. So honestly, I'm happy with getting 220 bucks. Alright guys, that's the end of that video. Hope you appreciated that. That was just the wrapping up of that Forester project. I thought that video was actually going to go a completely different direction when I initially picked up that vehicle, but I ran into a bunch of issues. First off, the vehicle was very rusty. It wasn't worth saving. It would have, in order for me to, with a good conscience, put that vehicle back on the road in someone's hands, it needed a lot of stuff that was fixed, and it just wasn't going to be financially feasible. So I ended up just parting it out. I ended up making, in total, around 300 bucks on it. Whether or not that was worth my time, I really don't know, but you know, I definitely, when I initially looked at that vehicle, it didn't seem as bad as it was, and I thought, oh, if it just needs an alternator and a battery, I can turn it around and flip it. And I kind of wanted to do more videos like that, where I would go and pick up a vehicle and fix it up and sell it, and do like a whole multi-part series of doing that. And that thing was just too far gone. So you know, you win some, you lose some. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm going to have a couple more coming out pretty soon, and I'm going to be doing a couple more videos in that kind of format where I'm going to go and try to pick up, you know, try to browse through Craigslist, Facebook Marketplace, OfferUp, find a good, you know, car that needs some work, fix it up and flip it, and kind of show you guys that aspect of you know, the business and that kind of thing. And I think it would be an interesting thing to see it all the way through and see, you know, with a budget, how much money you can make, and make it kind of like a challenge, almost like that. Like, you know, how much money can we make on this car that I bought for $500 or whatever. So if you liked it, please try to interact with this video. It'll help me. And if you're not subscribed, please subscribe. I'm trying to hit 1,000 subs so I can start to monetize, and I can, you know, make more videos and, you know, maybe get some more equipment and do some more cool things. So I appreciate it. Thanks, guys. See ya.